guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Now I know I said that the next video would be an Among Us video, but I saw this rumor and I just had to get it out there. Demar Derozan is demanding a trade out of San Antonio. Now that's kind of expected, but still that's really crazy and a video needs to be made on it. Now, there are a few different teams that he could potentially be traded to. I mean, he has 1 year left on his contract, so it makes sense for the Spurs to trade him now, especially that he's demanding a trade, because if he's demanding a trade, he's definitely not going to re-sign with them next year. So, and then they could get some value back. The Spurs are kind of in a rebuild. They finished number 12 in the Western Conference this year. Things with Demar Derozan didn't work out, and the Kawhi Leonard trade was just a really bad trade on their part. I really don't know why they did it. And then they ended up trading Kawhi Leonard, and the Raptors won a championship. So, it was a really bad trade, but I think the most likely team for Demar Derozan to go to is the Miami Heat. They have so many trade assets that really make sense with the Spurs system because they are rebuilding, and the Miami Heat have so many assets that are perfect for a rebuilding team and exactly what you'd want out of those players. So they should get they need DeMar DeRozan to opt into his contract in order, so he has an opt-out this year, but he still wants to be traded because he has a good contract. So I expect him to opt in and demand a trade, which is odd, but he has a good contract and he's not going to get much of a better contract, especially with how things went in San Antonio. Not to say that he wasn't playing well, but the Spurs didn't do well. But the most likely team is the Miami Heat with all the assets: Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, all those guys, and then it allows the Miami Heat to also dump off some contracts to match the contracts that are just kind of bad, like Kelly Olynyk, Andre Iguodala, all those guys. I think DeMar DeRozan really will push them over the top. I think they will be a good enough team to win the NBA Finals. I'm surprised that they made it this year, but I think that really DeMar DeRozan will definitely push them over the top, and they'll probably be favorites to come out of the East, even taking down Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, assuming that they come back at least 80%. But the second most likely team for him to demand a trade to is probably the Toronto Raptors. Now, any team could really, as long as you have cap space, any team could really make a run at DeMar DeRozan, but the Raptors, his return, I wouldn't rule it out. The Raptors have cap space, especially with Fred VanVleet being a free agent this year. They had a lot of cap space now that Kawhi Leonard's gone. They have cap space because Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka are both free agents, so it makes sense for DeMar DeRozan to come, and then they can re-sign DeRozan, and I am very sure that DeMar DeRozan will re-sign if he gets traded there in the next season. Now, those are the really top two teams. As far as the Raptors, they don't have a ton of assets, but they do have some. It starts with OG Anunoby, which, they're going to need to dump off a wing anyway, because then they'll have Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, so they're not going to need a lot of wing help. So, it would make sense with, one of the centerpieces of the trade to be OG Anunoby, but, they do have other guys, but a lot of them are free agents, so we'll have to see what happens. Definitely a lot of picks would be put into this to give to the Spurs. Not that the Raptors have great picks, because they've been a good team for the last 4 or 5 years with the DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, and Kawhi Leonard era, so we'll have to see what happens, but that's going to be it for today, guys. And unless some crazy rumor comes out again, the next video will be an Among Us video. Until then, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and I will catch you next video.